welcome, sir. I'd just like to introduce you. We have Dr. Agnitya Ghosh with us. So thank you for joining us today. We'd start with the basic question, sir. How did you end up being specialized in cinema studies and not going for the usual engineering or doctoral?
Okay. So, my graduation was in English literature from Calcutta University, but basically, the problem with, any traditional kind of like be it English, all science, sociology. Of course, there are interesting and nowadays, this quote unquote traditional courses are also taught in very interesting ways. But unfortunately, in my university, there is not much space for, to explore. Like you are doing the same kind of classics. Like for example, in political science, you are reading the same kind of theory. In literature, you are doing the same Shakespeare text again and again. And it's very, traditional orthodox way of teaching. And in my graduation, because it was Calcutta University where I was doing my graduation from, and then because it is a very vibrant, cinema scene in Calcutta. Like there are still film clubs where you can watch films. There is a film school, SRFK, Satyajit Ray Film and Television Institute, and there was Jadavpur University, which I later joined, as a film studies student. So, I got exposure that, there is a cinema. I was, always very fond of Hindi cinema, and being from a middle class Bengali family, Hindi cinema was considered as something, not watched, it's not that sophisticated. So I always had a fascination for Hindi cinema in general from childhood, and after that, during my graduation days, and the Calcutta Cine Circle gave me that space to explore all other kind of films. So after that, I joined Jadavpur University Masters Film Studies, and it was very interesting because not only from the perspective of cinema, like of course it offered me lots of space to watch different kind of films, etc. But also on the other hand, also reading about different kind of theories where, like earlier till graduation, it's almost like this is the truth and you cannot question. But in graduation we discussed and learned about several theories, like probably whatever we have read till class 10, 12 about history, it's probably biased. It's, one-dimensional. There are several histories. There is not one single history. So it offered, me space, that Jadavpur post-graduation course, and it's very exhaustive. It's like the Asian cinema, Latin American cinema, Hollywood, Hindi cinema. So it offered me that space. So after that, I continued with cinema studies in Jawaharlal Nehru University. My MPhil and PhD are both from Jawaharlal Nehru University Cinema Studies. So it's both. It's love for cinema, and it's also helpful to explore all other things.
Yeah. So now, now that you've been teaching like cinema studies, and I was one of your students in the college, and so how has being a teacher changed things, or how do your students look at cinema as studies and not just only a part of entertainment?
Yeah, like for example, that still is a big problem with cinema and cinema studies. Like I also start my lecture by saying when I joined my MA, I was doing, my graduation is in English literature, so my घरवाला was like, at least English कर रहे थे तो कुछ नौकरी मिल जाएगा, but film studies, what the hell is there? I come from a small town,
right.
and of course, forget about small town. Even now, there are apprehension about cinema. Like one of my relative and friends said, cinema कोई पढ़ने का थोड़ी चीज है. मतलब it's like something which you, it's only for entertainment, or इसमें इतना पढ़ने का क्या है? But I think, cinema can be very interesting, and most of the times we are exposed mostly to a particular kind of films. We are watching only Hollywood films, and we are watching only Hindi films. I'm not saying that you watch, for me, you watch, every kind of films. you watch trash, but you also watch, I mean, international art cinema. And classroom, because because of the online streaming platforms, I mean, these days teachings are much easier because the students are also familiar with, at least, of course, I mean, you will hardly find Latin American films on Netflix or Amazon Prime, but still, I mean, you get a space to discuss, and it's not only also classroom teaching, it's screening and showing clips. So I think it's a very interesting, and also, I mean, lockdown, like yesterday, like, where, like, I mean, DU is going to have, I do not know, I mean, whether this open book exam, and so I said, I'm not sure about the open book exam format. You also watch some of the films. If they ask question about, I mean, recent films and discuss about a theory. So there is a film which just got released in Bulbul. So, I mean, on Netflix. So, I mean, one of my student messaged that, sir, I have watched this film. So what do you think about it? So it gives you an interesting space to converse, because cinema, anyone can watch and anyone can talk about it. So it gives a space outside classroom as well. I mean, so, of course, I mean, inside classroom, you have to follow a syllabus and everything, but cinema gives you that space, because, I mean, I not say everyone, but at least 90% of the students I have seen, I mean, love to watch films and discuss about it.
So cinema as an art has evolved and changed a lot. Like from 1950s, from Satyajit Ray, now we have come to Karan Johar, and the evolution has been huge. So how has that impacted our lives in general also?
Okay, I mean, that's I mean, if you talk about in the context of our country, it's a slightly sad story. I mean, like, for instance, I mean, whatever you call loosely art cinema, socially conscious cinema, or at least even popular cinema, I mean, there was, I mean, certain kind of, I mean, of course, I mean, like, even if you look at popular entertainment films, they are entertainment films, like 1970s Amitabh Bachchan films. I mean, they are Diwar, Janjeer, these are all entertainment films. But there are also certain commentaries on society, and there are certain, I mean, comments. But 1990s, I mean, as you mentioned, Karan Johar, I mean, there is this Karan Joharization or Bollywoodization of Hindi cinema. And, I mean, you see a class which almost, I mean, 99% I think can't relate. I mean, this whole Rai Chand business, I mean, but I think right now, post multiplex, post streaming platforms, like lockdown, you do not have option. I mean, you have only option of releasing films on online streaming platforms. Or, I mean, like, for example, forget about online streaming platforms or traditional films. Like, I mean, you can make a film and upload it on YouTube, and several students, several filmmakers are doing that. Like, few days back, there was a film festival, there was a brilliant film made by FTI students. They uploaded it. I mean, and it got, it was so popular. I mean, so, the spaces were created, and I think, there are films. That films are not only about Rai Chand and Rahul and Raj. I mean, it's something, there is something beyond this. There are multiple stories to tell. I think, that space is created right now.
So we started with historical movies and reform movies and like socio-political scenarios, and now we've ended up at like commercial movies. So do you think that art of cinema, like we say, has suffered in this? Or is it just because the money making so it has not suffered?
No, that's the problem with cinema. Like, there is a very famous filmmaker, Jean-Luc Godard. He said once that you cannot, if you are talking about traditional cinema, it's always going to be money-making exercise. So, it's intrinsically connected with some kind of profit. Even if it's art cinema, art filmmakers also have to survive, na? So it's always mostly about, so one of my faculty members during post-graduation said once, jokingly that you cannot make your own film because there are so many constraints. And at that point of time, Makbul Fida Hussain, who is a very renowned painter, made his own film called Gajgani. So it has Madhuri Dixit. It's not a great film, but he said that probably only Makbul Fida Hussain, because he is super rich, he has the luxury to make his own film. But a common, ordinary filmmaker, like we have seen, like even if you look at commercial cinema, Anubhav Sinha, who is making some very good films. Of course, there are debates and there are questions around, like Article 16, Thappad, Mool. Look at his previous films. It's I'm forgetting the names of the films. The Shah Rukh Khan Superman wala film. So the commercial imperatives are always there, and filmmakers are most of the times forced by the commercial imperatives, most of the times.
Talking about recent times, there's this certain wave which is going on in the cinema industry right now, in Bollywood of course. It's called nepotism. What do you have to say about it, sir?
No, that's to hear from the very beginning, and while we have seen in other countries, it's more professional. It's not necessarily great, but it's controlled by corporate and it's very professional structure. Here it's mostly kinship structure. You have Chopra camp, you have Johar camp, you have Bhatt camp, other, and it's extremely difficult, but that's what I'm saying. Because of the multiplex and later online streaming platforms, you have filmmakers like Anurag Kashyap, Diwakar Banerjee, Sriram Raghavan, who are just film school graduates or just outsiders. Think about Anurag Kashyap. Of course, Anurag Kashyap is right now more into mainstream, but Anurag Kashyap, someone from Gorakhpur, coming to Bombay and making his own film, or Sriram Raghavan, who was an FTI graduate and making films like Johnny Gaddar or Andhadhun, or Diwakar Banerjee making brilliant films like Dilli Boy, with no one in the industry. And there are several actors and script writers who are working and doing great works, I think. But of course, whatever you call nepotism or kinship network or lobby or whatever, it's very, very strong. That still dominates our industry, unfortunately.
So the emergence of parallel cinema, so how has that changed things for good, for Indian cinema in particular?
Parallel cinema, I think, it's all started with Satyajit Ray's release of Pather Pachali, when, we thought that, everyone thought, another kind of film another kind of storytelling is possible. So that's the beginning in 1950s. And after that, I think, 1960s, 1970s, you have Indian New Wave, you have filmmakers like Shyam Benegal, Govind Nihalani. Again, there was a demise of art cinema. Most of the art filmmakers went into television. But right now, again, whether you can call it art cinema, because it's very part of commercial cinema, like a film like Mulk, or a film which we are talking about, a film like Bulbul. Of course, there are problems, there are issues, and there are criticism of. But at least people are talking about, like for example, after the release of Bulbul, there are lots of writings which are talking about this whole idea of portrayal of women as chudel. The history of portrayal of women as chudel, of this bad woman, evil woman. And we have that conversation, that space is created now, that we need to question certain things, we need to ask certain questions. So I think it's a space created. Of course, it's a limited space, because if you are writing online, you are coming from a background, and that's why you will be able to write that. But otherwise, certain kind of space is created.
So as an audience, as a critic to cinema lovers, or for that matter even Bollywood lovers, as an audience, what do we expect? Like, should we still focus on like commercial movies and just go for entertainment, or should we actually take it very seriously and consider it as an artistic experience?
No, my thing is that there should not be a binary between commercial cinema and art cinema. Like, you watch a Karan Johar film, but you also watch, I mean, Latin American or South Asian experimental films. That's my suggestion, because it's, I mean, to criticize something, you need to also watch. I mean, popular cinema. There are several scholars who just reject popular cinema. It's not good, it's bad, etc. But I mean, if you talk about, I mean, my personal thing, I mean, I watch all kind of films, and I mean, I love to watch all kind of films. I mean, I watch, Suraj Varjatia, Karan Johar, and I watch also, I mean, Latin American art cinema. I mean, that's why, I mean, you need to get exposure, and beyond Hollywood and Hindi cinema, I think. I mean, and as all kind of films are available, like there are several, I mean, in Amazon Prime, there are several, I mean, regional films, Malayalam, Tamil, Telugu films, which are available. I mean, to have the space, watch all kind of films. That's my suggestion.
So do you think, like now that you have been teaching us media studies and film studies, do you think education has a major role in developing this taste for us? Like, we all love Bollywood, we do. So do you think this film education, like film studies, should be promoted more so that at least all of us have equal knowledge of what is going on in the industry, and how should we perceive it as an industry?
Absolutely. And because, I mean, that's what, I mean, there is a dismissive tone now which we started ki cinema koi padne ka thodi thi.
Yeah.
So I think it's absolutely necessary to create an audience which is sensitive, and I mean, like for example, in popular cinema, I mean, there are some kind of outrageous things which are expressed to popular cinema, absolutely sexist or casteist or classist things. I mean, so you need an eye to see that. I mean, I'm not saying do not watch those things, but you need an eye to criticize that, to see through it. Like how this whole idea of the Chudelo man, which has, I mean, Bulbul played with.
Yeah.
So, I mean, of course, and I mean, of course, and it's a necessity to establish more film studies, media studies department, and media also. It's not only cinema, because I mean, media is part and parcel of our life, television or be it new media, and all these things are getting interconnected also. Right now, I mean, you cannot say, I mean, cinema is something in isolation. There is an interconnection with television, new media, radio, etc. So, I mean, of course, you need more and more departments, more and more, but also outside classroom, because cinema is something, I mean, which you can enjoy, which you can talk about. So, outside classroom also, it's absolutely necessary. Like earlier in 50s, like Satyajit Ray, I mean, he started as someone who is associated with Film Club, or which we call the Film Society movement. So, I mean, absolutely necessary. Like you have this screening spaces. Right now also there are screening spaces, but those are very exclusive for a few limited, like there are several people who are doing screening, going to bus slums and screening films, going to some school and screening films from children, etc. So I think those things are very, very important to educate people about all kind of things.
So, like, just this art you're talking about has evolved from 1950s, from Satyajit Ray. Now that we have ended up Karan Johar, what is one message that you would like to give to all cinema lovers? That what should we follow?
So, one thing I would like to say, that which I have said already, that watch every kind of films. Do not, just dismiss any kind of film, be it popular film, art film, or films from any region. I mean, an obscure region you do not know about. Just watch the film, because it's very good way to know about someone else's culture, someone else's history, and it's a very, for me, I mean, at least it's very enriching experience. So watch all kind of films, and that's how, I mean, you develop, I mean, an eye for cinema or good cinema.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, sir. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was very informative, and I hope all the cinema lovers just find something out of this video. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you had fun, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.